Bria Edwards for three, and it's good.
Out to Pott, 3-ball, yes sir!
Caroline Warden for three, and she buries that one.
Potts now saves it inbound. It'll be to Copeland, to Upshaw, layup good!
Line into Johnson, open inside, lays it up and scores.
Upshaw, lob to Buford!
3, 2, a shot, and it is good!
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside the Paint. As usual, I'm joined by women's basketball head coach, Coach Insell. How are you doing this morning?
Doing great, Allen.
Good. We had a great week last week. First, you guys had La Tech Thursday. You guys won 68-57, 11-point victory. I first want to talk about Bria Edwards, another double-double, 31 and 11. We'll talk about her rebounding after we talk about Southern Miss, but she's been here for 2 years. She had a pretty good junior year. She's having an even better senior year. Where does she rank as far as in Middle Tennessee Lady Raider program?
Well, since I've been here, this is the 11th year, she's probably one of the best shooters that we've had play on this court. We've had some great ones too, Anne-Marie Lanning, Jackie Pickle, Brandy Brown, all of those were on the same team. I feel like right now we got three pretty good shooters in Sism and Ty Petty and Bria. But Bria is consistent. It does not take her long to get the ball off. She's ready when she catches it. She's got her feet in position, and that's what you've got to. If you're going to be a great shooter, all of those things have to come together, and they do with Bria.
Now, Ty Petty against La Tech, she was a stat stuffer, 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 steals. It seems like since conference play, she's really turned it on both ends of the court, especially defensively. What are you noticing from her, especially on the defensive end?
Well, I don't think that she's going at this thing to try to stuff the stat sheets. I think she's trying to do whatever she's got to do to win games. And, she's been doing that night in and night out. I mean, if you look at the conference the conference stats, you see that Ty, since we've been in the conference, has been easing up that ladder just every week. And, she's going to continue to do that. We've got 5 games left. I'm not sure she's not our MVP. She brings the ball up. She knocks down shots. She plays tough defense. She passes the basketball, runs the floor, takes charges. Whatever part of the game that you need, Ty Petty's there.
Now, another player I want to talk about is Abby Sism. We talked about her last week as far as her points production. She had 10 points, and she really wasn't settling for that 3. She was really taking it to the basket, as we'll see later. How important is her offensive production going to be?
Getting better every game. Every single game she gets better. I thought Saturday she was dragging a little, but she went in and did some nice things, but every game she's getting better. I think, what a lot of people miss out on, and really – if you really haven't been really invested in the Division I programs like a Middle Tennessee or like a Vanderbilt or a Georgia or Ole Miss, someone like that, some team like that, sophomores don't get to play a lot. Freshmen don't get to play any. And if you look up, Abby Sism's getting to play. She's starting every game. She's having to do things, play defense on the perimeter, knock down shots, handle the basketball. And she's only a sophomore. So we're looking for big things. And, really, they grow. They mature and grow between that sophomore and junior year. And you see it over and over and over. And really, we're getting a lot out of Abby right now this year. And we're excited about her future.
This La Tech game, we've been talking about individuals. Southern Miss, you guys won 74-44. I want to talk about the team as a whole. 25 assists on 26 field goals. I mean, that's a pretty incredible stat. Some people just strive to get 50%, but your team really shared the ball, as you see in these videos.
Well, that's one of the things that we do every day in practice. It's not something that you just come out here and it takes place. You got to trust your teammates. You got to be invested in your teammates. You got to like your teammates, and I think this is what we've got right now with this basketball team. These kids have a genuine love and trust of each other, and they know that sharing the basketball, they're going to get it back. Look at Bria. Bria is one of the most unselfish players that we got, but yet everybody's talking about her right now. Abby Sism, one of the most unselfish players we got. But, if you look at her at her assist, you'll see them there. And you look at Ty. Ty, I think, had 9 assists the other day, 8 assists, somewhere like that. And that's been the norm. I mean, but yet she comes in with 14 points. So one of the things we'd like to see more out of Ty is scoring. We'd like to see her take a few more shots. I mean, she shoots a great percentage. She's got great vision of the floor. So, we'd like to see her get more shots up.
Now, you mentioned that you guys practice it every day. Is that something that on Saturday that it was just making that extra pass? That ball wasn't really sticking in anybody's hands too quickly.
That's why you practice, Allen. You come out and you go through these things. Repetition. It's not like that, you just show up on Saturdays or Thursday nights. When someone throws something at us, a 2-3 zone, we know what to jump into. If they throw at us a box and one, we know where to go. If they throw at us a man, we know to run our man offenses, and a lot of that comes with the point guard. But in our situation, we've got a Abby, a Bria, and a Ty, and even a Caroline that they're constantly in tune with what the other team is wanting to do to us, and then from there we will attack that team.
Now, Ty, early in the season and especially in the middle, she was really logging in those minutes. And then now Caroline's starting to see more minutes against Southern Miss. She had 3 3-pointers, 3 assists, no turnovers. How important is she going to be as a backup point guard come tournament time?
Well, I really don't know if she's the backup point guard. I've kind of got her backing up Sism and also Ty, but I'm high on Katie Collier. I think Katie could come in and do a good job for us. Not as good as Ty, but I think in the future, I think she's going to be that type of point guard. So really and truly, and I'm high on Jess Loro. Jess Loro coming in she can shoot the ball probably as good as anybody on our basketball team, including Bria. And so she's kind of the backup to Bria. Of course, we've been playing Bria a lot of minutes, but I'm excited about all, and we ain't even talked about our post players. I mean, we generally get on here and talk about our post players, and I guess I'm more excited about the way our post position has come along this year than anything that we've done. And our success, you can point back to the fact that when our post started playing strong offensively and defensively, then our team began to move.
You mentioned you're high on Katie Collier and Jess Lohr, young girls in your program, but they're learning behind a very seasoned vet in Ty Petty. What's it like to have her kind of show them the way?
Well, if you go back and you look at our 1,000-point scorers, not many of them got to play as freshmen and sophomores. They got their 1,000 points in that junior and senior year. Now, that's not the way we plan it, but when you come in, you're recruited in here, you're recruited into a program. You're not recruited into just a good team for 1 year. And you've got good players around you. Who would want to go somewhere that you didn't have good players around you? And this is kind of what we've got here. And so you come in, you work hard every day, you find out what the coaching staff wants, and then you go put that into place. But the main thing is just showing great effort every day, and that's what we've got right now.
Now, I mentioned when we were talking about La Tech, I'd get to Bria Edwards rebounding. She had 22 and 9, just 1 rebound short of a double-double. In the last 5 games, she's averaging 9.8 rebounds per game. You said after the game to me that she doesn't rebound the ball, she crashes the boards. What does that mean?
Well, she just goes and gets a basketball. I mean, there's some kids that go in, they watch the fly of the ball, and if it comes to them, hey, they're all right with it. Bria's situation is not like that. She goes in, she watches the fly of the ball, but then she goes and gets it. And that's the difference, and that's what you want. You don't have very many players like that in your coaching career, I'll tell you. I've been doing this for 40 years, and I probably had 4 or 5 young ladies that could do that. Alicia Clark was one of them. Ebony Rowe was another one of them. I've been very fortunate since I've been at Middle Tennessee to have players like that. And Bria's one of the few outside players. Chrissy Gibbons was much like that. They knew to go crash the board, and then when they got their hands on it, they were strong enough that they ripped through the rebound instead of finessing the rebound. And a good rebounder does that. And then if you look at a good rebound, they're off to the races. It's a pivot, and the first step is towards the other basket. You don't get that a lot. I mean, you can teach that, but you got to kind of have that in your gene pool.
Now, for the last month and a half, it's been Thursday, Saturday games. As we were talking about before we got on your practice schedule this week, it's just a Sunday game against UAB, a team you guys beat back at the beginning of the year, 68-40. Is there any different as far as preparation with not being a Thursday, Saturday? It's just a Sunday game. Do you like that, or do you kind of find it a little more difficult for prep?
I'm excited about what's going to take place in the next 10 days, and what I'm talking about. We got 3 games on the road. We need that. we need to have a little added pressure. We need to be playing in some hostile places. We're not going to be able to win the conference championship at Middle Tennessee State University. We're going to have to win that on the road. We've been a great road team this year. I think we've won more road games than anybody in our conference. What we've got to do now, these 3 road games coming up, we'll find out just how good our basketball team is. We'll also find out where our weaknesses are. And we've still got time to work on those weaknesses before the conference tournament comes around. We're sitting in pretty good position right now to get one of those 4 seeds where you get a bye the first round. And that's one of the things that after we lost those 2 early games, we lost to UTEP, and then they slung a shot in on us, Old Dominion did here. We knew right quick that it was going to be tough for us to win the conference. So what we had to do is kind of hold serve, and we've done that. Now we've got these 3 games to really find out where our basketball team is at. UAB Sunday at 12 o'clock is a national TV game. You're 2.5 hours from Murfreesboro. I would hope that we have a good crowd there. And then we can leave that and come back home, and our men play here at 5 o'clock on a national TV game. You still got time to get back and see the men play. So, it's going to be an exciting 10 days. And really and truly, our basketball team needs that. We need to find out where we're at right now. Just how are we pretty good? Are we real good? Or is there still some things we need to work on?
Last question. Against UAB, you said defense was key after your post-game press conference. Chelsea Black, she only had 9 points. You guys had 28 to 10 points off rebounds, 38 to 8 in points in the paint. Are those kind of the 3 things you look at as points in the paint, points off turnovers, and defending Chelsea Black?
To hold Chelsea Black, I don't think we held Chelsea Black to 9 points. I think she probably held herself to that, to be honest with you. I think she's one of the best point guards in our conference. I've made that known when she was left off of the preseason conference team, and I still believe that. I think she and Ty Petty are 2 of the best guards in the conference. And what we'll have to do, if we're going to win the game, we're going to have to defend her, and let's hope that we can do as good a job as we did last time. And if we do, we'll be in the game. If we don't, if she's kind of been a thorn in our side for ever since she's been at UAB, which has been 4 years. This is her 4th year. So, but they've got Randy does a great job. They got a quality team. They've got as much time to get ready for us as we've got to get ready for them. And I'm expecting a great game. I'm telling you, I see us. I think they'll have a good crowd. We'll have a good crowd. This is what Sunday afternoon ball games are all about.
All right, Coach, well, we wish you safe travels and good luck on Sunday.
Thank you, Allen.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but after the break, there's been games such as Star Wars night and Mardi Gras night. We're going to sit down with 2 guys that will tell us what goes into these nights in preparation after the break.
A degree is more than a piece of paper. Your college experience should be exciting, engaging. You should feel proud of your university. With over 140 majors taught by a highly respected and caring faculty and hands-on classes and state-of-the-art facilities, MTSU provides you the training and expertise you need to excel. Middle Tennessee State University is devoted to your success. Discover the MTSU difference. Become True Blue. At Middle Tennessee State University, graduate in 4 and you'll get more. We'll add $500 to your Hope Lottery scholarship after each of your first 2 years. We'll guarantee scholarships to transfer students with a 3.0 GPA or better. And our Finish Line scholarship will give you back any tuition increases. We'll help you graduate in 4 years. We're investing in your success. It's the MTSU Student Success Advantage. Learn more at mtsu.edu/apply.
I am True Blue.
As a member
of this diverse community,
I'm a valuable contributor
to its progress and success.
I am engaged in the life of this community.
I am a recipient
and a giver.
I am a listener
and a speaker.
I am honest in word and deed.
I'm committed to reason, not violence.
I am a learner.
Now and forever.
I am a Blue Raider.
I'm a Blue Raider.
I'm a Blue Raider.
True Blue.
Welcome back, guys. I'm now joined by Mitch Gosney and Tyler Basler in the marketing department. Guys, how are you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Good. As I mentioned before the break, we've had nights such as Star Wars night, Mardi Gras night. There's a lot that actually goes in, and these guys are actually the ones that are responsible for this. And a game that's actually coming up is not only a rivalry game on February 25th against WKU, but it's also Blue Out. And guys, what's special about the Blue Out? What are you guys doing as far as marketing-wise for the Blue Out game?
Fitz, you want to jump in there?
So really the Blue Out is the big, the Western game, obviously our big rival, 100 miles of hate and everything. It's really something that we've kind of developed over the past few years as a Blue Out to really get the Murphy Center completely blue, as much support we can get. No red, we don't want any red in the stadium. So it's a big rivalry game. So it's something that really try to get just as much blue as possible, really.
And then that's a Thursday game, and then the Saturday is a Marshall game, and then that's also, guys, it's not only senior day for the men, but there's also something going on at halftime as well, because we also have the women's senior day on March 5th, but you guys at halftime are doing something special on senior day.
Yeah, it's our annual Legends game, which also we do for men's and women's. We kind of work with the director of the varsity club, Jim Simpson. It's kind of a nice little transition on senior day, kind of, as we wish our seniors off the best, we also bring back former players, and we do like a big ceremony at halftime. We bring them across the court, we recognize them one by one, and then Jim also picks a special team from a decade or so ago to honor as well.
Okay, and then also upcoming is the men. The women's basketball obviously on the road against UAB. Men will host UAB. It's not only a battle for first place, guys, but it's what's you guys call 615 night. Which one do you two want to tell me? What is 615 night? What is that going to consist of?
Yeah, so Alan, really 615 night is a new thing we're trying this year. Talking to students around campus and whatnot, they really try and identify. We'll ask them where they're from, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm from the 931 or whatever."
Yeah.
So, the 615 night is something that we're trying to appease to, kind of appeal to the students as well as the fans. It's really a Middle Tennessee night, so we're actually going to have these mason jars that we're going to give out to the first 300 fans provided by PepsiCo. We'll be doing some country music. We'll be doing a lot of Middle Tennessee themed things going on there. So, big battle for first place. We're hoping that everybody in Murfreesboro is going to come out. We'd really love to get the Murphy Center packed. That's really one of our big goals for Sunday.
Now, last Saturday was the Play for K game, which is something that's really well known nationally around college basketball. Does that kind of take some extra prep as far as you guys, as far as making sure you have your I's dotted, your T's crossed? Is that something that you guys really, zone in on? Because that's not just something you guys are coming up locally like a 615 night. That's something that's well known nationally in the college basketball landscape.
Definitely, yeah. 615 night is definitely more of a local thing, but the Play for K is really a national thing. So it's something that women's basketball and really all of our women's sports, they do a Think Pink game. So pretty much everybody in the country is doing it in that week, and it's something that we really pride ourselves on trying to get as much money and really funds and donations, support, awareness, everything we can for the Power of Pink. That was our local organization we supported this year. So it's more of a national theme game, but we still try and really put a lot of emphasis with women's basketball.
Now, we were talking about 615 night this Sunday, guys. How do you guys, come up with these ideas and kind of how far do you plan out in advance? Because, you guys plan out so many events, like I said before, you guys had Mardi Gras nights, Star Wars night. How far in advance do you guys plan these nights out?
Alan, I think it really comes down to back in September and August, whenever we get the schedule. We have our yearly traditions that we do every year, like Mardi Gras and, like I said, Legends. But we get the schedule and we kind of see what makes sense where. So obviously Mardi Gras we do it the middle of February, so kind of tie in with Mardi Gras. It's really whenever we get the schedule, we have a list of what we want to do or what we hope to do. We kind of tie in what's going on in the world, what's relevant, how can we bring that to our arena just to make a nice tie-in.
Now, you mentioned that stuff like Mardi Gras around Mardi Gras time, Play for K obviously in February. Now, 615 night, something that doesn't really have like a specific time, nationally. How do you guys determine games for that?
So 615 night, we knew UAB was going to be a big game coming from last year's tournament, conference tournament and everything. So we knew we wanted to really put an emphasis on that game and pack it out. So with this year's success with the team and obviously UAB beating us on the road at third place, it really works really well for 615 night to really tie it in, and it worked out great. So it's just, it was one of those games we kind of had a little marquee that we wanted to do something, and we thought, let's try something new, let's try 615 night.
Now, you mentioned Tyler, you guys, it's back in August, September, you guys get that schedule and you guys try to plan it out in advance. Now, when an event's coming up, how soon do you kind of readdress it? You know, at 2 months away, we need to do this, or you know, what's that timeline like?
You know, I think it really comes down to just the magnitude of the game. You know, whether it is a social media night, you know, that's Play for K obviously takes a little bit more time to plan out. There's more elements to it. You know, like I said, it kind of depends. 615 night, we've been working on it for probably the past month or so. Play for K, we're working on that one for 2 months. It kind of depends on the magnitude and, you know, how much we have going on for that game.
All right, well, I appreciate you guys taking time, and I cannot wait for 615 night.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to sit down with men's basketball head coach Kermit Davis to talk about the battle for first place on Sunday against UAB.
A degree is more than a piece of paper. Your college experience should be exciting, engaging. You should feel proud of your university. With over 140 majors taught by a highly respected and caring faculty and hands-on classes and state-of-the-art facilities, MTSU provides you the training and expertise you need to excel. Middle Tennessee State University is devoted to your success. Discover the MTSU difference. Become True Blue. At Middle Tennessee State University, graduate in 4 and you'll get more. We'll add $500 to your Hope Lottery scholarship after each of your first 2 years. We'll guarantee scholarships to transfer students with a 3.0 GPA or better. And our Finish Line scholarship will give you back any tuition increases. We'll help you graduate in 4 years. We're investing in your success. It's the MTSU Student Success Advantage. Learn more at mtsu.edu/apply.
I am True Blue.
As a member
of this diverse community,
I'm a valuable contributor
to its progress and success.
I am engaged in the life of this community.
I am a recipient
and a giver.
I am a listener
and a speaker.
I am honest in word and deed.
I'm committed to reason, not violence.
I am a learner.
Now and forever.
I am a Blue Raider.
I am a Blue Raider.
I'm a Blue Raider.
True Blue.
Welcome back to Inside the Paint. I'm now joined by men's basketball head coach Kermit Davis. Coach, how are you doing this morning?
Good to be with you guys. Good to be back home.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine so. You guys were on the road against La Tech Southern Miss. First game, you guys lost at La Tech by 10. You guys had a 14-7 lead early, but then it seems like their defense really just kind of took you out of your offensive rhythm. Is that more credit to your defense or your offense not adjusting to the type of defense they played?
You know, Louisiana Tech's been a really good home team, and they beat UAB the next night or Saturday. So I think they're like 64-2 at home. So give Louisiana Tech a lot of credit. I think our team shot it quick. We settled. We didn't get the ball in the paint. We didn't go to the free throw line. And so I respect our team really fought it in the second half to get it back to about 6 or 7. But it really was. Louisiana Tech just better that night.
Yeah, Louisiana Tech 61-2 at home before your guys' game. Now they're 63-2. That's the best record in home court in the last 4 years, ahead of like Duke, Kansas, Kentucky. How tough of an environment is that when in the last 4 years they've only lost 2 games?
Well, we thought our record's 65 or 66-9, which is outstanding. And then you start listening to that. They draw 4,000 or 5,000 people. They've got a nice crowd, but it's just they've had really good players. I mean, they just had really good players, and right now, Hamilton and McCree may be 2 of the top 5 players in our league.
Now, your defense has been pretty great, as of late, and you guys in the second half started to make some offensive runs, but it really seemed like when it came down to making stops, it seems like La Tech always had an answer for your guys' run.
Well, we didn't guard Hamilton. McCree played good. They shot the ball well. What our team has been tremendous at all year long is getting back defensively, and we gave a lot of transition baskets up, fast break points, and it was 16-0. That was the whole game right there.
Now, Darnell Harris, your leading scorer, 20 points, 3 of 7 from three-point. Again, we mentioned it all season long, his three-point, shooting ability. Is not only his height, but his high release on his three-point shot. Does that make it really hard to defend? Because as his length and everything, a hand up isn't good enough for him.
Yeah, he's got good length. He spaces himself real well. He's got a quick release too, and and so Darnell he did. He got a lot of our guys got a lot of points kind of late, but we've got to get Darnell established on the post. And he's a good three-point shooter, but when he's had his most effective games is when he gets to the foul line and he gets to the paint and he starts inside out.
Now, you guys Saturday took on Southern Miss. Nice victory, 76-54. A great way to bounce back again. You say you go on the road, you get that +1. You guys weren't able to get the first one, but you got the second one. I really want to talk about, you guys had a slow start, but you started X and Quay over, it was Darnell Harris or you started X and Ed Simpson over Quay and Darnell Harris in the second half. And then also Giddy ran the point. what was different in that second half lineup that you weren't getting in that first half?
Well, Darnell has been so good and has helped us win so many games, but his energy level was low, just was low. He didn't slow to react. He wasn't quick to the ball, wasn't quick to rebounding. So we just went with a quicker lineup in the second half. And so, Jacob is out with a concussion. He got hurt on Friday in practice, and he won't play against UAB either. And but I just thought we needed more offensive firepower in the perimeter. I thought Giddy and Ed and X, all three can shoot. We're a little smaller, but I thought Reggie he and Perrin were really active. Perrin got us started with a steal and a dunk to start the second half, and then we just shot the ball, moved it really well. So it was really good for our team.
Now you mentioned point guard play all season long, go with Quay or go with Jacob Ivory, but Giddy ran the point in that second half, and it seemed the offense really ran well. Is that something that we could see coming Saturday?
No question. We're going to play Jaquan, who had a really good home weekend, wasn't very good at all at Southern Miss. And Quan and I have talked about it, and we love him, but he just wasn't very good. So we just went with Giddy, and Ed played some at the point. I thought Quay had 4 assists, no turnovers. He played as good as I've seen him of running our team. And so, yeah, those guys right there. And also we can invert the floor, where we can have Reggie and Perrin to do some things at the point. We'll miss Jacob, but we've got some other guys who can handle the ball.
Now, you started Ed the second half. He didn't start the game, so his 19 points were off the bench, 5 of 6 from 3. How important is his offensive production in these last, 2 weeks in regular season, and then also moving forward in a tournament play?
Well, it's critical. I mean, it's critical to get guys like Ed and X to give us a boost. Both those guys are really good shooters, but they can be really good defenders, and they're athletic. So they both guard at a high level. Like I said, we shared the ball, and it just frees us up so much, because Giddy will do some things offensively. Both those guys were really good in the second half.
We mentioned offense. Moving to defense, La Tech shot 54% offensively throughout the whole game. Southern Miss just 39%. What changed from Thursday to Saturday defensively for you guys?
Well, we've won some games. In the last 6 games before the Southern Miss game, we've been outscored in every second half. And we've won 4 of those games. And that's all we talked about was defensive field goal percentage, getting out in transition, doing some simple things. We wanted to hold our opposing team to under 40%, held them to 39%. They got no fast break points. So it was just, our team was just tougher mentally, tougher. Like I said, it was one of our best halves against Southern Miss, and in a really much needed win.
You mentioned getting outscored in the second half. How do you, tell your team that the second half is really important, because it's basically starting out 0-0. Everybody's getting a fresh start in that second half. How do you get that mentality through to your team?
Well, it's just you got to have a mature team. Now, what we've done in halves, we may not have played great, but we've always been a really good finishing team, and we've done a great job in the last 3 or 4 minutes, making big plays, getting critical stops. So it was just an emphasis of us trying to start the second half better, and we did. Perrin Buford stole the first ball, dunked it. We got in transition, started on about a 9 or 10-2 run, and our energy level was really high.
You mentioned finishing a game, especially come tournament time. You hear it all the time, just win in advance. Is that really going to be important for you guys? Because right now, at some point when you guys are losing in the second half, you guys are able to finish. So how important is that to keep going forward?
Well, you just got to draw back from experiences of being in tough games, playing a tough non-conference schedule, which we've done. We've been in some really difficult conference games. And, but the whole thing right now, teams you got to keep getting better. I mean, there's going to be 2 teams that are going to play on a Monday in April. I mean, 6 weeks away. So this can be a long season. And so our team's we got to be good in practice. You got to get better. Teams got to stay physical. And if you don't do that, because that's the whole key of trying to play really good basketball for us the last 5 games to try to get a regular season championship in Conference USA, then play good in the tournament.
Now Sunday, the women are heading to UAB for a really important game. You guys have an important game here against UAB, battle for first place. You guys had them on the ropes at UAB, up 12, ended up losing 11. How important is this game for you, and do you really have to tell your team about how important this game is, or do they already know?
Oh, our guys know. We know. UAB players know. Marshall. There's 3 teams in the league right now that control their own destiny. It's UAB, us, and Marshall. If you look at the plus minus, all 3 teams are +4. So really, basically, everybody's tied. And then we've got 3 home games, 2 on the road. UAB's got 3 road games, 2 at home. Marshall's got a big home stand. So, and Louisiana Tech's playing really good. But that's just when you look at really good leagues, that's what happens. I mean, right now we're going down the stretch. It's going to be a fun environment. This is what we all spend so much time working for, to play big games in February and March. And now we've got a huge home stand. It should be a lot of fun for both teams. UAB, their fans, Middle Tennessee, and our fans. We just hope our fans will stand strong and make this a great environment on Sunday.
2 things that really stood out to me about that UAB game was, it was the title, the tale of 2 halves offensively, and then also UAB winning, points off turnovers 20-9. Are those 2 key things for you Sunday? Is putting together a full 40-minute game and also limiting turnovers? Because you guys have been doing that lately, getting in that 8 to 9 turnovers, per game region. Are those the 2 keys for you on Sunday?
Yeah, our team leads the league in steals. And a great stat that I love looking at is combining steals and blocks to your turnovers, because obviously those are takeaway stats. And then assist to turnovers, which our team is the best in the league. So we've been very good at taking care of the ball and creating opportunities. And it's why we've absorbed some bad free throw shooting in some other areas. So our takeaways have been good. But when that points off turnover slip the other way, our team's not very effective, and so that'll be a key stat on Sunday.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you taking the time, and we wish you good luck on Sunday for battle for first place.
You got it. Thanks.
All right, that'll be it for this week's edition of Inside the Paint. Be sure to join us next week for all your news in Blue Raider basketball.